De crucero con Manny Vargas y Pablo Roach to the most southern tip upon this west coast, a place where not too many people know or even go. You can ask Gregorio, Mauricio, and Shadow. Bodyboarding por vida, and I shoot like tequila. The agua limpia, fresca, jugo de pina. No más carga, no más melías. Y strictamente chronic insensimilla. Recuperado desde Chiva, despierto. Pesadilla, he visto la salida del sol, and I be following my soul every place that I go. The one thing that I know that helped me stay under control was that gordo, grasa, verde, green bowl. Cruza la frontera, entra a México, porque mi sueño me lavan algo bueno. I'm gonna take them to the land's end, Los Cabos. Gonna take them to the land's end, to Los Cabos. Gonna take them to the land's end, Los Cabos. Gonna take them to the land's end, yeah, to Los Cabos. Da las gracias, mis hermanos, en el respect.
I need to figure out how to keep that song going into the intro. I love that tune. Thank you, Barracuda. Old school Los Cabos days. All right, check it out. Welcome to Manny V Stories. And you know what? This week is going to be pretty cool. I'm just going to go over some photos and talk about the crew that made the production all possible. I know I missed a couple photos. I just finished gathering them up. Jackson, I've missed your photo. But yes, Steve Action Jackson was a critical part of that 2011 IBA Grand Slam Series World Tour. But this is more of the production side of things. But Steve Action Jackson, apologies, you belong in this slideshow. But that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to show a bunch of slides that I just pulled out, talk about the person in the photo or persons, and then we'll go to the best 3 minutes and 47 seconds in bodyboarding, in my opinion. So yeah, it's essentially the 2011 IBA recap of the entire tour done by the Snakes and Ladders crew. So let's get into it. I'm just going to say a couple things because I do want to show you guys the video. And the video that I'm going to show, I'm going to have some overlays. There's going to be some chat on there as well. Let's see if we can get that chat going. I think, there we go. Now, if you guys are going to send a chat, it should pop up here. If not, then you guys can chat afterwards or on the premiere. What I'm going to try now, because I just found out. I knew about it, but it kind of just came back to me. But I can set some, some videos as premieres. So if we all watch it together, we can chat together. So that's going to come up at 7 o'clock. The video is going to drop as a premiere in its entirety without me talking over it or whatever, without any overlays. And you're going to be able to see it together with me. But you can do that here too. With the 7 o'clock version, there's not going to be any overlays and we'll just be on the chat doing that. So why don't we start with the slideshow of a couple of the guys that were part of the production crew. So this is it right here. This is Todd Barnes, one of the main camera people. He was getting a lot of, a lot of really cool, I want to call it B-roll or color. He would take that camera in his hands and just flick on an epic lens and go out on the town, and he'd capture so many incredible shots with that camera. And he had a really awesome eye to be able to catch those, those moments in time where the rider comes out of the water or we're just off doing different things, and he would be able to capture those emotions with that camera. It's pretty freaking awesome. The next slide. This is essentially, this was in Eureka, 2011. The guy in the denim long sleeve, that is Mitch Green. Mitch was one of the videographers, and gosh, I think he did it all. Like if anybody needed help in their particular area, Mitch was able to go in there and, help get shit done. The guy with the beanie, that's Pat. Pat was also one of the main guys to make sure things got done. He did some video editing and videography, pretty much was able to pull it off, whatever he had to be done. So yeah, Pat was one of those behind the scene guys that was putting together some of these highlight reels, the end of the day highlight reels. And man, all of these guys in the production, they all were incredible. They all put in the hard work and the hard time to, to pull it off. So I got to give them props, and that's what we're doing right now. Next photo. Oh, wait, let me go back. Let me go back. Can I go back? Yes, there it is. So the guy in the gray sweater, that's Sasha Specker. Sasha was the staff photographer for the tour, and he was getting the most incredible shots. He actually gave me a lot of photos to be able to use in my now defunct bodyboarding photo app, which was called Bodyboarding 1971. I still have the Instagram. I'll throw some stuff up there. But yeah, Sasha's photos are mind blowing. He was able to be in the water, on land, and was just capturing all of the action from all angles with his photo camera. And maybe I should start sharing some more of those. But yeah, Sasha, Seamus is the naked body there. He was one of the videographers, one of the main videographers to capture the action. And the two guys on the right, those are the wave streamers. I think it's wave streamers. That was the actual webcast. Those two guys were part of the webcast. Nacho, he was like the main guy to make sure all the cables were running in the right area, made sure we were able to go live. And there's Pete. Pete was pretty much the ringleader. He's the one in the light denim jacket, and he was the one pretty much in charge to make sure shit got done. And he I'm sure it was very stressful. Sometimes the internet went out. He would be the one, everybody would be yelling at what's happening, what's going on, and he would have to answer after fixing the problem. And he did an incredible job. So yeah, that was Pete, making sure everybody had their job to do and made sure everybody did it well. This is Shaggy. Shaggy was the correspondent. He was the one who was sending out those newsletters, daily newsletters during competition and, in between competitions. But that was Shaggy getting interviews. He would come on. He would come on the screen too, interviewing people on the live feed after their heats. But he was pretty much in charge of making sure that newsletters went out immediately after the event ended, and he did a pretty good job. Yeah, he did solid. Michelle Rosen, she was brought on board to assist as well. I think it was 2000, might have been 2000. No, it was 2011 because we went to Reunion Island on a tour. And so yeah, Michelle, she was also one of those that helped get the newsletter and information out. So this is pretty much the core group minus Seamus Makeup, who was the main videographer. But in the red, that is, I think Todd's given us a thumbs down saying it might not be on for the day. But yeah, so we are the first ones there and the last ones to leave, apparently. But yeah, so there's Pat in the red, and there's Todd, and behind Todd is Mitch, and there's Pete behind Pat. And yeah, that's pretty much the core of the production crew when it came to, putting together the highlight reels, making sure all the right angles were covered and the videos were quality and everything was just seamlessly put together. But that is the core group right there. Here's a couple other shots of the crew. This is Mitch. Mitch, I'm sorry. I think maybe it was the box where I freaking couldn't remember your name, and I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna hate me. But yeah, this is Mitch. Mitch was one of those guys who was able to freaking just get shit done if something was missing. And the guy in the middle, that was the graphic designer. So all the cool graphics that you saw on all the highlight reels, that is Murray. Um, and he's with Mike Stewart, Todd, and Pete right there in front of the satellite dish. I think that's in Western Australia for the box event, which was insane. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. But yeah, the graphics were insane and very consistent. He was like, he knew exactly what he was doing, and motion graphics. is nothing easy. It was pretty cool to see what he put together at each event. And we did get some downtime, which was pretty awesome. We were able to jump in the water if we had a lay day, or yeah, if there was nothing going on, we had our shit done, we would jump in the water. This is Todd Barnes, and that was a cool thing. We all bodyboarded. I would get my GoPro and just snap a wave these guys having a good time. And there's Murray getting slotted. He's actually a drop near. I think I got a couple shots of him, but that was the best shot. And Seamus is just a freaking rock star when it comes to riding waves as well. Great behind the lens, and obviously great in front of the lens too. That was probably the best shot I got that afternoon. Um, and here's a couple Australians, and then Shaggy in the middle. He was really good. Like, he was one of the guys, and he was able to talk to anybody, and just laid back and how to go or whatever. And he was able to talk to everybody on the tour. And then there's Pete again. Very, very intense, stressful job that he had, which was making sure the web production and the video highlights and everything that was involved on making the 2011 World Tour a production masterpiece. This guy was in charge, and now he's running a pretty incredible global video marketing company, I would say. Snakes and Ladders. Snakes and Ladders. I know he's got some huge corporate clients, like Topo Chico, I think, hired him. I think that's the last video I saw that his production company put together, but he's big time. And I think I can see how that, how he's able to pull that together, because he did a pretty good job along with the team. You're only as good as your team, and he had a pretty solid team under him. So yeah, so Steve Action Jackson, he was in there as well. And this is Seamus and I working in Zicatella 2011, doing the highlight reel. We did a highlight reel after every day, and these guys would spend hours piecing together these pieces of masterpieces after each day of competition, which was pretty incredible. The Hurricane, Juan Santos, is one of my favorite guys on the mic. He is probably, to me, one of the best beach marshals when it comes to bodyboarding competitions and surf competitions. He's got the gift of gab and was able to do it in multiple languages, which is incredible. So Juan Santos, aka the Hurricane, was incredible. And there's their crew from Wave Streamers. They're really solid production crew, and I think they do the Fronton event every time. And yeah, they get the job done. So thank you very much. And from the Canary Islands, this is Kaha, one of the videographers who became very consistent on the tour in 2011. He was on time. He showed up. He never missed a shot. He was always on point, and the crew loved him. So we figured out how to get him on more events than not, because he was a hard worker. And that's pretty much how you saw Seamus. Double backpack, and yeah, it was pretty epic to see him with just all his gear, moving from point to point, sweating at the end of the day. And yeah, it was pretty insane to watch. Sasha cruising in Porto Escondido, and I just took a bunch of photos from Porto and the box. Teza McKenna and Erika as well. That's Teza, who was a technical director and made sure, all the I's were dot, T's were crossed to make sure that all the things were, set in stone. And yeah, another shot of Pete Moore from Snakes and Ladders. So there it is. I think we are good to go with our quick little rundown of the production crew of the 2011 IBA Grand Slam series. Now, the best 3 minutes and 47 seconds in bodyboarding, it's essentially the highlight reel that the Snakes and Ladders crew put together. I'm really excited to see it with you guys. I haven't seen it yet. Again, I was sent the link to the Vimeo of Snakes and Ladders, and I don't think more than 100 people watched it. And so, yeah, this is going to be a treat for all of us. So this is the 2011 IBA Grand Slam Series World Tour recap. The best 3 minutes and 47 seconds in bodyboarding. Let's do it. Oh, hold on. We got a little glitch in the matrix, but I wanted to make sure. Oh, yeah, let's rewind that. Let's rewind that. Hold on. See if we can start from the beginning. Yeah, I haven't seen this from beginning to end. I'm going to talk over the video and we're going to watch it in its entirety on its own at 7 o'clock. So be ready for that. Oh, man. Thomas Rigby almost won, but Jeff Hubbard just did the impossible. Incredible. 5 minutes to go and Jeff pulls it off. Oh, so nice. Magno was the only one who was able to stop Ryan Hardy, but Hardballs was on a mission. Winning an event in your backyard, best thing ever. Best thing ever. Ryan. Love it. Oh my gosh, Guilherme was freaking an animal. I think this is the event Guilherme just freaking was nonstop. This roll, look where the rocks are. Look where the rocks are. Right, it goes 1 foot deep and look at all that water. That was the most insane thing I've ever seen. And with that kind of like willpower and, just lack of fear, that was insane. And then Jeff and Ryan facing off in Porto Escondido in massive conditions. So Jeff, number 2, so sick. Sintra, you know what? Sintra, I love Sintra. I think it should be on the World Tour. It brings everybody back to reality. Hey, we're going to compete in waves that most of us are exposed to, and that's like a solid beach break. Reunion Island was just a beautiful treat. Beautiful people, beautiful location. And Alex Uranga won from the trials. That was an incredible win. It's been a while since we've seen that, if we have. Alex may be the only one to win from the trials, round 1 of the trials. And then in Canto, that was another sick event. Their version of Off the Wall at Middles. PLC finally winning the tour stop on the year. But he had some pretty consistent placings, and that helped him in the end. Oh gosh, who won the Frontone event? I think it was Jason Finlay, the wild card. But PLC, I think, needed to, it was massive. It was massive right before the finals. But yeah, it was Jason Finlay who had the wild card, and he came out on top winning the event. But because of PLC's placing throughout the year, he was the one that got the championship trophy and the World Tour title, the World Champion PLC in 2011. That was pretty amazing. So sick. So sick. There it is. The best 3 minutes and 47 seconds, in my opinion. Just a little collection of, highlights of each one of the events on the World Tour in 2011. I loved it. And I think I love it more probably because I was part of that and was able to see history unfolding and just the incredible amount of waves ridden from these awesome riders was just off the charts. And again, the production crew was on point. Everybody involved, the riders never freaking backed down. And yeah, it was just an incredible. You can totally write a script from our 2011 World Tour. No doubt about that. So at 7 o'clock, we are going to see the premiere of that video being, just launched or dropped at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time here in Los Angeles or San Diego. But yeah, I'm going to watch it with you guys. If you guys want to watch it, sweet. And yeah, that's it. I just wanted to throw a couple little info tidbits on the production crew that made it all happen. So yeah, with that, we're going to wind down with a quick shout out to waterbeanwarehouse.com. That's where you're going to get all your riding, Boog Life, Epic Surf Tours, all that gear is on waterbeanwarehouse.com. Go check it out. Quick shout out to my pipeline patrons on Boog Life Patreon. They are the ones that have been supporting very, on the top tier for months on end, and I can't thank you enough for that. We do have Matias Diaz on the phone. We're going to have him either tonight or tomorrow. It's going to be in Spanish, so give me a little bit of time to translate that, and we will get, an American. We will get the English version of his interview, as his English is a little on the slim side, so we will do the interview in Spanish. So that's coming up for Boog Life. And yeah, Cabo Freak Fest is coming up. I do have a couple spots if you guys are down. It's not too late. There's just a handful of us this year, which means more waits for us, which is going to be kind of cool. Next up, we're going to dive deep into my personal files and see what else I can find as far as giving you guys some stories of me on the past 40 years of traveling the world. And I'll find a good one. I'll find a deep one that really meant a lot. Well, they all mean a lot to me because they're all part of, what I have going on and who I am. So be ready for that next Monday, 6 o'clock. And at 7 o'clock, we're going to see the premiere of the best 3 minutes and 47 seconds, in bodyboarding. That's going on 7 o'clock. And tomorrow, 5 o'clock, Pitted with Action Manny V, right here on booglife.com. I'll see you next week or in 40 minutes and then tomorrow. All right, I'm out. Oh, later, everybody.